Why don't you dir your way through the classics and send them to Russ and Matt at Audio Boom, or just stick it directly on our thing? I sometimes do go on that site and interfere with stuff, so you never know if you're lucky. Yeah,
people on there were saying we should stop talking about disgusting stuff like farts and worms and stuff. Well,
I'm trying to. That's your fault.
I know, I shouldn't have even mentioned it, because now I've put those things back in the show. But they're out.
Let's go back to the magical garden simulacrum outside my window. So there's the Larvic rock, and then there's like a figure of Pan out there. And as I'm a man now who lives on a pseudo-religious dimension, always looking for signs, I think, Pan's out there. That's to encourage me to remain in a Pan-like state. But there's also benches out there. There's benches in a place that no human can reach. So it's not a functional bench. It's just an impression of a bench. Like I'm saying about that airport, like I'm saying about David Cameron's speech, that we don't have reality. We just have an impression of reality. We're being stripped of what is real. That's why I'm doing those city run things, to reclaim reality in some way, to sort of break off the narrow scaletrix tracks of your existence and into something once more that's real. When gardens can be gardens, when people can be people, when women are free to be women, girls. Take off your bra, Rita!
I'd love to know who this woman is. A poor cow. Right, listen to this, Russell. This sounds like quotes from you, right? This is Willow and Jaden Smith, right?
Yep.
So the question's about the nature of time or whatever, and Willow says, I mean, time for me, I can make it go slow or fast, however I please, and that's how I know it doesn't exist. Jaden chips in with, it's proven that how time moves for you depends on where you are in the universe. It's relative to beings in other places, but on the level of being here on Earth, if you're aware in a moment, 1 second can last a year, and if you are unaware, your whole childhood, your whole life can pass by in 6 seconds, but it's also such a thing that you can get lost in. Willow says, because living. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, it is on...
I whip my clock back and forth, I whip my clock back and forth, I whip my clock back and forth, I whip my clock back and forth. That kid has understood that time is an illusion. Right, everyone, get behind Willow and Jaden's Prince. They know the Bobby Moore, they know the score, they're all over it, these kids. We can trust them, they're interdimensional beings sent down through Will Prince's winkle, and we must follow them, so help me Rod. What do you think? Yeah, it's pretty good stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's the sort of stuff you come out with.
They're sharp as tacks, these boys and that girl.
Yeah.
One boy, one girl, ain't it?
It's a little boy and a little girl. Although recently, I mean, I'm not obsessed with these kids, but the boy's been wearing a dress out and about. He's so headstrong and...
He's so advanced.
Doesn't believe reality exists. Why should he wear trousers?
If there's no reality, baby, I'm sticking a frock on. Good on him. You've got to respect him. Here's some... Coming back to the segment.
Yeah.
Dear Russell and Matt, says Robbie K. As a strong proponent of classical music, I support and enjoy your new segment. It's always great to see the art form promoted on cutting-edge media. However, there are a few corrections and clarifications I'd like to make. In few Wednesdays probably, podcast, Russell assumes that the extract was from a concerto. It was, in fact, the famous opening motif from Beethoven's, not Mozart's, piano miniature for release. Oh, bloody hell, mate.
Come on, Russ,
he's got too much...
What, mate? Why is he listening to this show? He's clearly cultured.
Look,
he's got brains.
You're a cultured lad, Rob. Show is not for you. Get out. This is for people that don't. This is for people that don't even believe that time is real. I whip my hair back and forth. I whip my hair back and forth. This is for new, cutting-edge kids that have just emerged with crazy ideas about time. Although those ideas are actually Einstein's, and they were ages ago, and they're a bit old hat. But I don't want to criticise a child that seems a bit rich. Coming from me. Do you want to... Oh, look at this, Matt. We may try to stay on the cutting edge with our items or quoting Will Smith's little kids, but this is an email from Mia. I'm sorry to inform you guys that the word peng is no longer used. To my knowledge, it was a word that was used around 3 to 4 years ago. Yeah. A popular word used now is fleek, used in the context of eyebrows on fleek or outfit on fleek. Love from Mia.
Yeah, no, I actually realised this.
Well, even peng is old, and fleek, by now, fleek is probably obsolete.
But peng and fleek, I mean, that's, where do those words come from?
They're idiots, surely.
Absolute
I mean, peng, fleek, you little nerds meddling with language. If anything, go back. Like, and use words like a bare bodkin, sir. Like, start using odd, peculiar, old, sort of droogish words.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, we should do.
Can't criticise them, that's young people.
Hang on,
it's
someone
innovative,
here,
it's good.
someone here says
Yeah.
that nits don't live in clean hair, as I mentioned the other day.
This
is a myth told by
Matthew.
parents to make children with nits feel better. Well, it makes me feel
I told you that at the time. You look at your mind. You're like, it's like listening to a serial killer talking to a priest. Like the way your mind skips
Which
about
one are you?
from point to point. Priest.
So unsure. Hey, Russell, you know what we haven't talked about for a while?
Go on.
MeUndies.
Oh, God.
Oh, for God's sake! What do you want to do now,
What?
Godfrey?
Well,
Where are
unless
they
you
from?
want to do it, you were wading in last time we recorded, and you were doing very well.
I bet sales for whatever that was I was advertising shot through the effing roof. Did they?
They did, yeah. That and
I
the
bet
Conservatives
MeUndies-
getting into power is going to save our economy, they're saying.
See? Now grow up. Go and vote for the Conservative Party and buy yourself a pair of pants. We're the best thing to happen to MeUndies since the Ebola outbreak. People are buying new pants at a rate of knots, like their blood-spattered anuses are hanging about in their gusset. What's wrong with that? That's just an image, baby.
Has she left
It's
now,
just
then?
an image.
She stormed out.
She weren't buying it. I went too far.
We'll make
Yeah.
it easy. Go to meundies.com/brand and get 20% off your first order and free shipping. Save even more when you buy a pack of them. MeUndies also offer low, flat rate international shipping. They're just good pants, aren't they? They're going to be happy with them, and your first pair is free. Once you feel
What was
MeUndies
that
on your
bit?
body, you're never going back.
Listen to Russell and Matt. Have a chit chat with thought-provoking ideas and compelling facts.
Greetings from Australia. Belly bounces in the Urban Dictionary. We know. Hello, everyone, says Simone. I just wanted to clear up something that Matt said a couple of weeks ago.
Oh.
The Nazis were not right. No,
You've stumbled into a trap
Nits
there.
living.
No,
The
you
nits
accused me of
seem-
mental illness when I read out the nits thing, and then you've read it out 5 minutes later.
And that's timing is everything, Matt. Timing is absolutely everything in our game. Nits only live in clean hair. This is a myth told by parents and teachers to make dirty children with nitty hair feel better about their dirty, filthy scalps. Nits don't care where they live. Filth for them is like a jungle trek. They can live on animals. They don't jump or fly. They're passed from head to head. The filthier the head, the better these nits like it. In short, Matt Morgan's head is similar to the kind of head you'd find decaying in a mortuary. I've never had nits. And Matt Morgan, what do? You're preserved in formaldehyde.
Well, no, they just look at your head, don't they? And then you be put into the drawer and then buried, but you're frozen in the drawer. And I don't want to
Would
pick
you be
apart
happy
what you're
with-
saying, but, you know.
Would you be happy with 1 week's work in a mortuary preparing the bodies?
I honestly don't think I'd have any problem with it.
Would you take the opportunity to look at the genitals of the dead?
I do a lot more than that, my friend.
Russ, Matt, G Audio Boom.
I went Dolphin Square the other day where all that stuff kicks off and just had a good snoop round. There was one single duck standing on its own by a concrete pond and it looked like it had sinned too much. When do you ever see a duck on its own? They're always in gangs. It was a mallard, if I'm not mistaken. Green, feathery head. It was
I've
just
seen
stood
a duck
there.
on its own.
Not see, honestly.
This is a good item. Have you ever seen a duck on its own?
Ducks on their own.
Hey,
Have you
here's a
seen
question
one?
for you, Russell. Have you ever seen a seagull in a tree?
Well, I see. When I was out, let me return to my garden amble
answer
ramp.
the question.
Maybe, but look, when there was a suicide window, I got a tool offset on this film I'm doing. I simply undone the brackets that prevent you from opening the window to get into the fake garden, the lava garden with a statue of Pan and a bench that will never be sat on. And I went out there, and this crow kept crowing at me because it obviously thought I was on its territory. Real gutty, went, "Bah, bah, bah." I tried to do it back, you know how I've always thought I can communicate with the animals, Matt.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I tried to communicate back. Bark, bark, bark. It mostly was just ignoring me.
I hope Nicolas
Then I closed
Cage was watching this from his hotel room. Thinking, where's that guy who doesn't know his lines? What's he doing, man? He's talking to a crow. How'd he get out there?
What's he doing in the fake garden, crowing at a goddamn crow? He's learned the crow's lines. He never learns my lines. Well, then, like, the crows swoop down at... Like, when I was meditating, which I do...
Well, you
as a
meditated in that
person,
broken into garden?
Yeah.
How could you relax? If I'd broken a window to get out there, I wouldn't be able to sit down and my way through 20 minutes. I think someone was going to come and get me.
70, yeah, but they don't know. Because there's a bench there, a man sitting on the bench looks normal. And most of the things that are overlooking it is 10 floors of hotel rooms. So, like, if you're looking out it, all you're looking at is the natural sight of a man meditating and occasionally crowing back at a crow that's crowing at him. What's the problem, officer? Why would you bring this to the attention of the authorities?
That's quite nightmarish to me, that there's a little patch of plastic, what is it? No, rocks, lava rocks with a bench that you can't actually get to, so it's completely fake space. I'm glad you went out there.
And a statue of Pan, and then even a bandstand, like a little pavilion bandstand. It's like it's some sort of Illuminati shit. And when I'm doing my mad runs through London, I come across all these sorts of spaces, medieval quads and squares and spaces, and little tablets and plaques that reveal the secret sort of provenance of power. You sort of see things like the Fourth Order of the Knights Templar on the 4th day of Mordor did sacrifice the bride. You know, there's all sorts of weird shit all over London, and dragons and lizards and crosses. I don't get too iced up about it, and this certainly is an example of that. This little rocky square on a roof of a Canadian hotel.
I went
quite right. Things are being sequestered off.
I went to Westminster Abbey the other day. Well, yesterday. And because my American in-laws are over, right? And so I did some touristy stuff in London, which, you know, actually was amazing.
Bloody brilliant.
I've never been in there. And like the day before, the Queen had been in there doing the VE Day stuff. So she laid a wreath at the grave or the tomb of the unknown soldier, right? So there was a wreath there that the Queen had touched the day before. So that was quite nice for me, because I've never met her like you. But it's amazing. Like, you have the little thing on and you go round, and at first I didn't want to put the thing on my ear that tells you everything. I just thought, no, I'll just look at stuff. Walked around.
Freestyle.
It's proper, like, the story of Mary, Queen of Scots, and her sister, and, you know, like, it's Game of Thrones type stuff. People killing each other, and, it's amazing. English history.
Chaucer's buried there. Darwin's buried there.
Have you been there?
Yeah, I went there early one morning. There's a little chapel in there. Like, when I was jet lagged and I was staying in central London, and I'd go for these walks, and I went in there once quite early, and there's a little chapel, and in it was just me, some nuns, and a bloke dressed entirely in denim who I thought was a serial killer. Probably the geezer that sent us that belly bounce message, to be honest. That kind of a guy.
Did you pay £20 to go in there?
No, it was early in the morning. But then there was some sort of verger bloke, and I said, can I have a look round there? And like, he goes, yeah. Showed me down. He goes, that old bit there, right at the end, that's from Elizabeth I's time. I mean, like you say, it is great Game of Thrones stuff, because all of a lot of that fantasy gets its structure from as you said actually last time, from the ancient European monarchies and stuff.
There was a door.
It's pretty amazing.
There's a thing, it says Britain's oldest door, which I don't know if that's true, but like, it was 1020 or something, the year 1020, and there's this old door. And you sort of, I love all that stuff. It's amazing. But I would never have done that.